tshepeso wa lona la moteba kere komisa kgotso le Secretaria Province Mandisa Gesini Komisa. Komisa and also member of the Parliament. Komisa and member of the Central Command Team, the Komisa, member of the Central Command Team, away, Jacob Zuma, away. Occupy the land, occupy the land. Province of hands off from of the EFF and then members of the board safety Fananoi Commissar Parliament Viva EFF, viva! Viva EFF, viva! And then, comrade, our Secretary General, forward with expropriation of land without compensation, forward. Forward with the expropriation of land without compensation. Open space, forward. Amanda. Thank you very much. We will introduce to you a leader of the revolution, a combatant, and our Commissar, Deputy President Nico Shibaro. Hello, Lendao. Lendao. How many Saba Lendao? Aus Kele Malema Lendao. Lendao. Amanda. Viva EFF, viva! Viva the EFF, viva! Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live! 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 Amanda! Away! Thank you very much, Secretary General. All of us here to attend this program. Very short. The time for black people to unite has arrived. We cannot afford to be divided as black people. When white people want to oppress us, they call themselves white monopoly people. They cease to call themselves as Australian, American, British. They unite as white monopoly capital to oppress us. The African men and the British men united to grab the land and kill our people in the same province. How unique that the matter is here when the 1913 Land Act was implemented and orchestrated in the very same province. Apartheid still exists up until black people unite as black people. We remain natives and fugitives. We remain landless. We remain farm dwellers and squalor. Poverty doesn't care which party you belong. It is dealing with black bodies. Comrades, today a black man is being charged with the same act that was implemented to deal with the transgressions of the past. Apartheid used the same act against the ANC. The same act was used against Sol Plaatje. This is the same act that is being used to the children of this tribe. Comrades, I am given a limited time. Who defines a land grab? Who is it, the settler or the dispossessed? Who defines the act that we are being charged with? Is it the settler or it is the dispossessed? Who defines criminality? Is it the criminal or the settler? The law was never meant for us. The Constitution is anti-black. ICC and G8 are the ones who define what is criminal and what is not criminal. The G8, your IMF, and your ICC defines land invasion. Is it the invader or the dispossessed that defines land invasion? As black people, we must unite and fight together. Together we will conquer. Together we will complete the revolution. Because 1994 delayed the revolution. We have been in a honeymoon of a so-called freedom. The struggle continues. Amanda, thank you very much. Amanda, away with the loss of settlers, away with the supremacy of settlers, away. Amanda, thank you very much, Spikam Damini, for the message of reaffirming that we cannot be subjected to the loss of settlers. Now coming to what we are here for. Comrades, you will remember that in December 2014, in the first National People's Assembly of the EFF, here in Bloemfontein, we took a resolution as delegates, all of us representing branches of the EFF. We took a resolution that before we take over political power from those that have it now, we are going to start to implement one of the critical cardinal pillars of the EFF in the founding manifesto. That pillar is the pillar of expropriation of land without compensation. We took a decision that before we arrive to political power to implement it in the manner in which it is outlined in the founding manifesto, we should proudly associate and encourage our people, our landless people, to occupy land. We took a comprehensive resolution that says that all struggles of the landless people must be supported actively by the EFF. We are talking today. There's been lots of land successful occupations done by the EFF here in the Free State, in Gauteng, in Mpumalanga. There are people who have got proper human settlements and proper houses because they identified the land and occupied it. And you will know that the law in South Africa says that if within 48 hours there is no one who has removed you from the land that you have occupied, when they come to remove you later, they must tell you where you must go. They must tell you where you must go. So through the EFF, there have been successful land occupation programs all over South Africa. And when we concluded our National People's Assembly, the Commander-in-Chief spoke to summarize what were the outcomes and resolutions of the National People's Assembly. He reaffirmed conference resolutions that we're going to support land occupation. We're going to unapologetically lead the struggles to occupy land in South Africa. Then a racist organization called AfriForum went to launch a complaint
about the statements of the CIC. And throughout, the ANC government never acted. They only acted now when they were in crisis over the release of the state capture report. When they realized that they are crumbling, they are falling apart because their shenanigans are going to be exposed, they then took a decision on the 10th of October to say that they want to criminalize the Commander-in-Chief. They must subject him to the court process for the statements that he made in 2014. That is the reason why we're here. And then they go and take a 1956 act called the Riotous Assemblies Act. Basically, it was an act which was saying it is going to deal with what the apartheid state termed riots of black people, riots of non-Europeans. That law which the Commander-in-Chief is charged with starts by saying that it is about protecting Europeans against non-Europeans. The purpose of that law says that we are protecting Europeans against non-Europeans. The ANC government is using that law to criminalize our Commander-in-Chief. That is the levels of desperation that they've come to. It actually reveals the fact that we do not even have this political power which we thought we have, because the current government is using the rules and the laws of the oppressive, racist, nonsensical apartheid regime to prosecute those that disagree with them politically today. That is how the ANC has come to be. So today in court there was an appearance because a criminal charge was laid against the Commander-in-Chief. Instead of responding to that issue that they are charging the Commander-in-Chief with, the legal representatives, through the instruction of the CIC and the EFF, said we are going to take this issue to a high court to challenge the constitutionality of that act. And we can assure you that in court we are going to emerge victorious. The EFF does not go around losing court cases. We are not an organization that loses court cases because we understand the law. We are going to annul that Riotous Assemblies Act, but also in Parliament we are going to reverse all the apartheid legislations that exist, because the ANC has dismally failed. It's 22 years now. There is still a lot of apartheid legislation that is utilized by the ANC government. That's still to refer to our people as natives. That's still to refer to our people as non-Europeans. That still refer to the white minority as Europeans. We thought that was buried in 1994, but the ugly head of apartheid is still within us. We're going to challenge that. So the court has agreed that until we have finalized the challenge in the High Court, we'll then come back to court to report that that act is no longer legal. So therefore the case falls away. That is what we're dealing with today. But one thing that is for sure is that our program stands. Our program is not going to be stopped by apartheid laws. We're going to fight on to get our land back, because that is the main reason in any way why all liberation movements were formed. That is the main reason why the EFF was formed, to take forward the struggle that could not be completed by the liberation movement. That is why top of the agenda in the EFF is the reclamation of the land that was taken from our forefathers. Our forefathers were beheaded. They were killed for the land to be taken away from them. And we're going to reclaim that. We're going to reclaim it in our lifetime. Amandla! Now, comrades, I want to introduce to you the leader of the revolution, the commander-in-chief of the economic struggle, emancipation movement, not only here in South Africa, but in the entire African continent. The commander-in-chief of the oppressed people of the continent, the commander-in-chief Julius Malema. Commander-in-chief. Amandla. Long live EFF, long live. I will EFF, I will. Tata, EFF, Tata. Down with Jacob Zuma, down. Down with ANC, down. Amandla. Kyalabua, our leaders, the Deputy President, the officials of the EFF, Kyalabua by Tapile, Kaufela from national leadership, province, the region, lady province from other provinces, leaders from other provinces, the ground forces, EFF, Luma Councilor Kaufela by EFF. Like the Deputy President has already spoken, we want to take this opportunity to thank the ANC for having done a wonderful job of calling this rally today. That's why you see Mutabo Dlamini here, a member of the ANC, coming to witness the success of the rally organized by the ANC. Because if it was not of the ANC, we're not going to be here in Free State today. So they invited us, and they said we have an appointment with them here at the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court, because we must come and discuss the apartheid legislation. They want an assistance on how best can they repeal the apartheid legislation, but they do not know how. So they want the best brains of the EFF to be used in doing away with that legislation. So the ANC has called us to come and help them to do away with an apartheid legislation. Because when we take it to court, we're going to use our own ideas to demonstrate how this law is not in line with the Constitution. And that's what the ANC want. Because the ANC does not have the brains to challenge that legislation. So they pretend like they are charging us, they are not. They want to do away with the apartheid law, but they don't know how. And the EFF will do the job. They do so because the act is about protecting white people. Floyd says Europeans, white people. That's a polite way the apartheid was using of saying white people. They were saying Europeans, so that they confuse those who do not understand language dynamics. But what Europeans means is white people. This was a law passed after the adoption of the Freedom Charter on the 26th of June 1955 at Kliptown. They passed this law reacting to the Freedom Charter.
Because the Freedom Charter was saying, occupy the land wherever you choose to occupy the land. It's not Malema, it's the Freedom Charter. It's not Malema, it's ZK Matthews, it's O.R. Tambo, it's Walter Sisulu, it's A.P. Mda, it's Nelson Mandela, who said before me that you must occupy the land wherever you choose. So the ANC is using the law which was meant to challenge the Freedom Charter against anyone who promotes the aspirations of the Freedom Charter. Because all we are saying is that if every single clause of the Freedom Charter is implemented, our people will be free from economic oppression. The ANC dumped the Freedom Charter in a political dustbin. We went to fetch it, we cleaned it up, and they are offended by the fact that we have cleaned up the Freedom Charter. We are implementing the Freedom Charter. So, no law that seeks to protect white people will succeed in a democratic South Africa. They say I said in Newcastle, we must slaughter white people. I never said that. If I wanted to say it, I will say it. But what I said was that we are not calling for their slaughter. Unlike them, they slaughtered black people. They killed black people. They committed black genocide. Now de Klerk thinks that he can stand up to lecture us about incitement. He has not incited de Klerk. He presided over the killing of our people. And de Klerk must know that every evening when he sleeps, he must pray that Malema must never be a president of South Africa. Because if I become the president of South Africa, I will lock up de Klerk for the crimes they committed against black people for a very long time. De Klerk deserves to be in jail. De Klerk deserves to rot in jail. De Klerk was never punished for the killing of black people. Who is de Klerk to lecture me about democracy? A murderer? I will never listen to de Klerk. My wish is to see de Klerk in prison. My wish is to see de Klerk suffering for a very long time for the crimes they committed against black people. They were never punished for that. They declared, I'm not the one who introduced reconciliation. I am not for reconciliation. I am for justice. There is no reconciliation without justice. And justice is the return of the land. There will never be justice if the land is not returned. Don't talk to me about peace. There is no peace without justice. Justice is the return of the land. There will never be peace at the expense of justice. All what they see from us, we are just pretending. Our smiles are not genuine. We are hating inside. We have lost our loved ones. They were buried in unidentifiable graves. Our sisters, our brothers were killed by de Klerk, by Botha, by Malan. They were buried in graves which cannot be identified till today. And they say to us, we must forget and move forward. We will never forget until the bodies of our loved ones are returned to our families and they are buried with dignity. De Klerk It's not me who's speaking. Declare you are not troubled by Julius Malema. You are troubled by the spirits of those who died, who were killed by your government, who were buried in unidentifiable graves. I'm fighting for those people. I want justice for those families. I don't have anything against white people, but I have a problem because black people are suffering in this country. Why us? Are we a cursed nation? Did Jesus Christ die for us to suffer like this? What have we done to deserve such treatment in our own country? Why are we not finding waiters and waitresses that are white? Why are we not finding farm workers that are white? Why are we not finding security guards that are white? Why are we not finding the domestic workers that are white? What have we done? Why is it only us who are working, who are providing a cheap labor? Yes. What have we done? To whom? Tell them. Why is it a black nation alone suffering so much? Our people do not have houses. Our people do not have jobs. All white people are working. All white people have got everything beautiful that comes with this land. We have nothing. And then I hear pastors have released statements that Malema is inciting violence. Why? Because I speak against white people, because I'm exposing the suffering of our people. Where were you, pastor? Where were you, bishop, when they put a black person in a coffin alive? A white man forcing a black person into a coffin. Where were you, pastor, to release a statement condemning that? You will never do that because it's a black person. Why? A black life is cheap. It doesn't matter. When you talk about white people, you invite enemies. I'm not hating them. Why is the black nation suffering? Why is the ANC not doing anything about it? We will do something about it. We will fight for it. We will do everything in our power, whatever it takes, to collapse white supremacy and replace it with an equal society where there will not be black or white, there will be humanity. All of us will enjoy the fruits of our freedom. It's not yet Uhuru, but we will arrive there. With the EFF alive, we will arrive there. We cannot be scared of prison. We cannot be scared of persecution. Our leaders have gone through worse situation. We are not going through anything. So you can be guaranteed that we will never retreat. When we leave here, you see any beautiful piece of land, you like it, occupy it, it belongs to you. It is your land. It is the land of your forefathers. It is a land that was taken from us by white people by force through genocide. They killed our people. We are not talking violence. We are not promoting violence. But I cannot guarantee the future. I'm not a prophet. I'm talking now. We are not carrying any weapons. I will never kill white people. Why should I kill them? I will never revenge for what they did. I'm asking politely for the land to be returned. And if they don't return it, I cannot guarantee what will happen next. But they must be assured that this land we are fighting for peacefully, we are fighting for in parliament, we are fighting for this land on the streets, because We must conscientize society. So they are not conscious. Black people, some of them, they still suck up to white. Hey, Malema is inciting hatred. Hey, hatred what? You are suffering, man. Stop hating yourself. You say Malema is spreading hatred because Malema loves himself. I love my blackness. That's why I speak for blackness. And I'm not ashamed to speak up for blackness, because that's who I am. I'm not fighting against white people, but I'm not fighting for them. And I will never fight for them, because they don't want anything. They've got everything. Why do you fight for people who don't want anything? AfriForum is a boeremag. It's a group of Afrikaners who still wish for apartheid. They will never see it. Afrikaner boys, the focus will dance. The EFF is coming for you, boys. Afrikaner boys, the ANC has made you to think this thing is still Orange Free State. This thing is not Orange Free State. This is Free State. When we take over power, Afrikaner males, you will know your place. Just pray. Pray to ancestors. Pray to Maran. Pray to Fairfoot. Pray and ask them for EFF not to come into power. Because we come into power, Afrikaner male, this side, this is where you belong. This is how you're going to be. They must know. These Afrikaner males, they must know we are not scared of them. Ideologically, politically, and otherwise, we can take each other toe to toe. We are not scared of Afrikaners. This is not your land. You must know your place. You are visitors here. And the long stay of visitors depends on their conduct. If you continue to misbehave, feeding our people to lions, putting our people who are still alive in the coffins, then you are applying for something else. Be warned. We are not scared of anything. That includes the reclaiming of this land. That's why they opened a case in Free State and Newcastle. Because that's why these Afrikaners still think they are in charge. In these small dorpies, they think they are in charge. So they must know that even in the small dorpies, we are arriving. We are unstoppable. We are reclaiming what rightfully belongs to us. So I see a lot of white people crying. Stop being crybabies. There's no one who's going to kill you. I've got one friend, one white friend called Andriano. So if we were to kill white people, I will have to start with Andriano. So I won't do that. So stop being crybabies. You are scared because you know what you have done to us. You are troubled by what you have done to us, and you think we are like you. We are not like you. We are not like you. Don't push us too far. This country must be returned into the hands of rightful owners. There is no white man who's going to be driven to the sea. We need you here. We need you to see black people prospering. We need you to see black people being successful. We want to prove it to you that we don't need a white master to be successful. We are going to nationalize the banks. We are going to nationalize the mines. We are going to expropriate the land without compensation. And when we nationalize, we are going to start with the properties of Rupert, Oppenheimer, all of them, these rich ones who think they are untouchable. We start with them. I heard Rupert making some silly joke I'm not your friend. Must never think I'm a friend of a white monopoly capital. You think we are playing because we say Zuma must go, and you are saying Zuma must go, and you think that can make us friends? No. We say it from different positions. You are saying it for your own reasons, we are saying it for our own reasons. It doesn't make us friends. Remember that our strategic objective is to crush white monopoly capital. What is white monopoly capital? It's Rupert, it's Oppenheimer. We must crush them. They must come to our level. They must not be super rich. They must be to the level of everybody in an equal society. Fellow fighters, I can guarantee you the EFF is the only thing in South Africa that is black owned. There's nothing that black people own, including taxis. They don't belong to black people. That guy who owns taxis there in the township, you think they are his? They are not. He took them through credit from the bank. So those combis, taxis, belong to the bank. The bank belongs to a white man. So the only thing owned by black people is EFF. There is no white man, not a single one, who can claim authority over the EFF. That's why we can say anything we like. We don't care whether the white masters are complaining or not. You will do those things there to the ANC. We don't have white supervisors. We don't want white supervisors. That's why EFF must survive. That's why EFF must be the biggest thing to demonstrate to the white master that even black-owned things can be successful without supervision of a white master. This is the only thing. ANC is white-owned. That's why when you speak against white people in Newcastle, the first party to release a statement is the ANC. Because the white master says, hey, you see, you are quiet. Come on, man, go ahead. And then you are Mona go ahead with that movement as if it's a penguin. So we don't want such things. You can't find such things in the EFF. No white master calls the EFF for anything. Whatever we do, whatever we say, it is out of our own conviction, not because there is a white master that directed us to say that. The things we say about white people, if we had a white master, do you think he would have approved of such things? So these ones who have a mind of a rat, they still think that we are controlled by whites, because they are controlled by whites. They can't own anything, small things, without supervision of white people. I don't hate white people. I don't want a white master. I will never have a white master. I've never worked for a white person in my entire life. I will never do that, because I want to demonstrate and I want to inspire generations after generation that a black person can be successful without a white master. The system hates the EFF. The system hates Malema because they can't control them. There is no white master. The reason they hate us so much is because there is no white master who can say, I can vouch for the EFF. The media doesn't like us. Yes. Never. Yes. I mean, on my way to here, I get a headline that I'm arrested by the media. And then I start looking inside my car to check. Hey man, is this thing prison wall so? Or they confuse me with Mukrevo? Arrested for what? No, Malema was speeding. Which car? Because I don't have a car. Which car will I speed? And because I don't have a car, which car will I drive? Get illegal lift mo. I know Mahashule Nabele Chata High Motile or Dintwana. Papale to Banamalo. They will never do anything. Babele Dinchamo mo. Can stop you every 2 minutes. Yeah, side. I'll drive him a lamb. Baba disappointed. Because never sabatlur kifitimo. My policemen in uniform communicating lies that they arrested me. Let them come out from distance. You will never touch my blood, Lord. I'm going to defeat you. Once more I defeated you because you are a group of clowns. You don't know how to strategize. You don't know how to catch the enemy. I'm always 2 steps ahead of you. Careful, you are taking over this country. This country belongs to you. Continue fighting. Don't be scared. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Amanda! Auwe muso makashule auwe muso mashori auwe muso suma pili kamuso EFF pili Amanda auno makumis siyaya no makumi siyaya no mabese tubola esishaya esibopa no mabese tubola esishaya esibopa Kubiyo siyaya Kubiyo siyaya Roma vese tubola esishaya esibopa Roma vese tubola esishaya esibopa. Who left? Who right? Jamasa. Who left? Kita. Kilame. Kilmatawata. Samarumo. Asicha. Where were you when I'm dream? Where were you when I'm sick? So fast, Kichi, the moye. So fast, Kichi, the tati. Kichima. Kichima. Wonke labant, Evagiti. Siltatile, Ilagiti. Kita, Yamasa, Kita, Kilame. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Pa. rata o leboha president ka molaetsa wa hao o re kgothatsang. Re lebohe le deputy president ka reporto le ketapele kaofela ya EFF. Re lebohe le provincial leadership ba re guidileng up to this point. Empa holo comrades, rata o leboha each and every one of you, because kaofela re kopane mona trial ena ene e bitsa rona kaofela. We individually we are on trial. The president is not alone. Re a leboha ka gore le siile di-washene la sia bana la re letleng le tlo thiba ka mona ka khoto ka mona mabura ba tla wetsa kotsi hape. Ha re leboheng, ha re khutleleng hae ba haeso ka khotso le a e bona mona tsileng mona nkere le tantse leng ka khotso akere e ke na halona e leng ke kaofela president o re bolelletse. Re a leboha tswetswe, re leboha go menahane o fitlhella re kopana hape dulang le ntse le le faithful to the revolution, which is economic freedom in our lifetime. Thank you very much.